Hi Stamper, today I'm going to show you how to do the hamburger here. I posted that a couple days ago and people wanted me to show them. So I'm going to show you how to do the hamburger, but first I'm going to show you how I did the background. What you're going to use, it's going to be those templates for the big shot. And it's from the pattern number 2, the one that I'm using. And then I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm using cherry cobbler. What you're going to do, it's really ink this. And this is just classic. Some people like to work with the craft for this. For me, the classic ink worked great. And then my piece was 4 by 4. I'm going to take this, put it right down, and I tried to put it equal, so I want it to look like a tablecloth. But then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper and put it on top, so then I don't get my rubber all stained. I'm going to wrap this here. You're going to take your rubber, I got it right here, that's the silicone pad. Put it on top. You take your texture impressor plate, put it on top, and then let's roll this to the big shot. What I do, I put tab 1 down. So I got my big platform, tab 1, put this here, and on top of this, I use those cardboard that come in the designer series paper. It's a perfect shim for this. And then roll it. It's kind of tight, but that is okay. And then you see the rubber coming out here? That's what it does. It just roll it down. And then one quick thing that I didn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you now. You see where it says Stampin' Up here? You want that facing up because the paper going to roll sometime and you don't want that impression. And voila! That's how easy it is. So then you start it with white and you get the perfect little tablecloth. Okay, now I'm going to show you the hamburger. The hamburger, I'm using craft ink. And I'm going to use the 1 3/4, stamp 2 of them. And one of it I need flat. Well, here we go. That's okay because I'm going to cut this part off for the bottom. So I cut them at 1 inch. Doesn't matter the top or the bottom, cut it at 1 inch. And I put my circle right there, cut it this. And then we're going to use my rounder corner, and I'm going to put this here. Flip this. It looks funny, but don't worry about that. We're going to fix that. And I flip this again. Then I use my sand block, and you're just going to round it. That little tippy there, just round that up. And the one that I did, I think it was Wednesday that I put on my web, I think I changed the color for the tomato. On this one I'm using ruby red. Okay, excuse me. One is the top, one is the bottom. This is going to be the bottom. I'm just going to sponge the bottom. I'm sponge that with soft suede. And then this one, I'm going to sponge all around. Need a little bit more ink. And then we're going to do the little, like this, ooh, storm coming through. Sesame seed on top of it. You can be a little bit fancy and do like the little pokey thing. What I mean by that, it would be those little dots there, but that's too long for me. What I do, I just take my soft suede and just do a little dots here and there. But like I said, you can be more fancy and take the time and do the little seed. Okay, now this is done. Now we're going to do the hamburger patty, and I like a double cheeseburger. So you're going to cut 1, 2. That is just in chocolate chip, and we're going to glue that to the bottom buns. You see it's big, the top, don't worry about that because we're going to cover that. So there's one patty. Here's my patty number 2. And then for the cheese, I do about 3/4 wide. It doesn't matter how wide it is really, but the length of it, it's 1.5, and that it's in more mustard. I'm going to put that below the first patty. And then for my lettuce, I like mine with lettuce on top. I use the scallop, the oval scallop. Punch that. Let's glue that, and then I had something in the back of that. And then we're going to trim it. I think it's easier. And I go almost at the same length that my cheese was. Then we're going to take this. Go there. I have to go from the back for some reason. I cannot. Here we go. Don't worry about how it looked there because it's going to be all, this is not quite equal. But you know what? I don't think lettuce would be equal. And then we're going to use the 3/4 circle. Punch 2 tomato. And this is ruby red. We're going to glue our tomatoes. Right there. So now we got our tomato. Then I'm going to chip. Okay, this needs a little bit more trim here. Then we're going to put our buns, our toasted buns. See, I really don't like this little. Here we go. Now we got our hamburger. That's as simple as that. So here I use the big scallop, the 2.5 scallop, 2 3/8 scallop to put my hamburger on it. And here, this stamp set you're invited, it's from this set, it's Sincere Salutations, and that would be perfect for the 4th of July just around the corner. So happy 4th, until next time, happy stamping. How many minutes?